Allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both men.
Federal agents didn't raid Diddy's properties expecting to uncover a full-blown scandal, but what they allegedly stumbled upon has triggered a chain reaction no one in Hollywood could have anticipated.
As far as, is he going to turn people in? Is he going to cooperate? If the federal government wants him to cooperate and they're going to cut his time, because right now he's looking at 15 to life. With all the charges he won't get out till 70 years old. He about 70. That's when they start talking about letting him come to a halfway house.
Beyonce.
Behind the lavish decor, opulent furnishings, and walls lined with trophies and memorabilia, authorities reportedly found something far more disturbing: hard drives, tapes, digital files. And inside them, footage so damaging it could derail the careers of some of the most powerful figures in the entertainment industry. At the center of this growing firestorm, Jay-Z and Beyoncé, the seemingly untouchable power couple, now caught in the middle of a scandal so volatile it could blow their image wide open. The claims feel unreal, but the whispers began almost instantly. Sources tied to Homeland Security suggest that buried deep in Diddy's private archives was content that reveals high-profile celebrities in scenarios so compromising, so dangerously incriminating, that public fallout could be irreversible.
Start with just the statement from Jay-Z, which is so forceful in its denial. I just read a teeny part of it, it's long, where he says that they should file a criminal complaint. Is that even possible at this point?
And now the Carters, Jay-Z and Beyoncé, have become the names most frequently mentioned. Amidst the chaos, reports are circulating that Diddy, allegedly feeling abandoned by Jay-Z and Beyoncé during his rising legal troubles, is now threatening to bring everyone down with him. If these rumors hold any truth, Diddy may be in possession of a mountain of incriminating evidence, a digital war chest of receipts that, once exposed, could send shockwaves across the entire entertainment world. And picture this: an exclusive private party thrown by Diddy, the kind of event where only the elite gain access. Inside, the room buzzes with some of the biggest names across music, film, and professional sports. These are individuals who've spent decades carefully crafting their images, building massive empires rooted in success and legacy. But beyond the velvet ropes and filtered social media photo ops, something else was allegedly happening. These weren't just ordinary parties. Insiders now claim they were orchestrated environments, carefully curated setups where boundaries blurred, inhibitions vanished, and every moment was captured by hidden cameras.
Sean had to take responsibility for what he did as an individual. Sean is the one who pulled that gun out. Sean is the one who shot. So he has to take responsibility for that.
But these cameras weren't there to preserve memories. They were allegedly tools of manipulation, recordings kept for future leverage and control. According to insiders, these events, now referred to by some as freak-offs, were more than just celebrity blowouts. They were traps. Attendees believed they were surrounded by peers in a private, safe space. But in reality, every whispered conversation, every suspicious interaction, every regrettable decision may have been caught on tape. And now, those recordings are reportedly in the hands of federal investigators. The implications of this are staggering. While Diddy's true motivations remain unclear, one prevailing theory is beginning to gain traction. As the legal walls close in, sources claim Diddy may be trying to tip the scales in his favor, turning over damaging footage as part of a calculated strategy to reduce potential charges. And among the names allegedly entangled in this footage, none other than Jay-Z and Beyoncé. If that's true, it suggests something far more explosive. This isn't just legal self-preservation. It could be a strategic takedown. Because if Diddy is going down, he may be determined to make sure he doesn't go alone. The so-called golden couple, Jay-Z and Beyoncé, find themselves at the center of speculation. Depending on who you ask, they either distanced themselves from Diddy when things got hot, or worse, worked quietly behind the scenes to isolate him. If betrayal occurred, it cuts deep, and Diddy's alleged retaliation appears cold, calculated, and unforgiving. Fueling the flames is the return of a once dismissed voice, Jaguar Wright. Known for her outspoken criticism of the industry, Wright has long claimed that the entertainment elite operate under a dark, protected system.
If that's part of the indictment, that's someone like a blackmail. He was blackmailing people to be in the freak-offs. So that's federal. That could be that's a federal charge. He can't blackmail people to say, yo, listen here, you did it once and you're gonna do it again. That ain't gonna make it with the government or nobody.
She's previously accused the Carters of benefiting from and contributing to a toxic environment steeped in manipulation, power games, and covert leverage. For years, her words were brushed off as conspiracy or anger. Now they're being re-examined with new urgency. Why? Because reports suggest Diddy's seized footage may align with some of Wright's past claims, giving credibility to a narrative many once ignored. This is no longer just about late-night parties or behind-the-scenes drama. The allegations now point to a long-running system of exploitation, a web of manipulation that spans decades. Sources suggest that multiple A-list celebrities may appear in compromising footage, material that could have legal consequences and cause career-shattering reputational damage. No PR team, no crisis manager could contain that level of fallout. And through all of it, the Carters have remained completely silent. No public denials, no press releases, no social media posts to downplay or redirect. But their legal team, far from quiet. Beyonce's attorneys have reportedly gone into overdrive, issuing cease and desist letters, warning media outlets and putting pressure on platforms to scrub certain interviews and suppress narratives. Legal threats are being aimed at anyone seen amplifying the more damaging claims. While silence can be strategic, in a crisis this size, it's also fueling speculation, and that speculation is spreading fast.
In a blistering statement, Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away." Would you?
It's a textbook legal defense, silence paired with aggressive suppression. But in this case, the strategy seems to have backfired. The more attempts are made to silence the story, the louder and more viral it becomes. Online, it's chaos. The internet is in meltdown mode. Fans, critics, and commentators are dissecting every second of silence, every missing statement, every move made or not made by the Carters. And the question dominating every platform remains the same. If there's nothing to hide, why aren't they speaking out? Then comes the most chilling turn of all. One detail that has escalated the entire conversation to a dangerous level: the reported involvement of minors. While the specifics remain unconfirmed, even the slightest suggestion has rattled both Hollywood and the public. Allegations are swirling that underage attendees were present at these so-called exclusive gatherings. The claims suggest manipulation, coercion, and potentially criminal activity, and if proven true, this could lead to indictments well beyond Diddy himself.
It's interesting because, you know, obviously this civil suit was coming for a while, and there was some talk between Busby and Jay-Z's lawyers. I think both Busby and Jay-Z's lawyers are really alphas.
If the Carters were in attendance, as some sources insist, then silence begins to look far less like damage control and far more like strategic containment. This development has also revived interest in a name long tied to Diddy's world, Kim Porter. Porter, the late mother of 3 of Diddy's children, was reportedly working on a tell-all memoir before her sudden and unexplained death. Those close to her said she was preparing to expose some of the industry's most deeply buried secrets, claims that were dismissed at the time as speculation or hearsay. The circumstances surrounding Kim Porter's passing are now under renewed scrutiny. Was she silenced? And if so, who else could be in danger now that Diddy's archived footage is allegedly in federal hands? As the investigation deepens, new names are being pulled into the storm. Beyonce's mother, Tina Knowles, has been swept into the conversation, though indirectly. a social media incident involving Tina liking a comment related to the allegations against Jay-Z raised immediate eyebrows. Although Tina later claimed her account had been hacked, the timing couldn't have been worse. Online communities seized on the moment, interpreting it as evidence that internal tensions within the Carter empire are starting to surface, and that loyalties may no longer be aligned. But the most significant threat may not come from online speculation. It may come from the legal system. Attorneys representing alleged victims are reportedly preparing civil lawsuits, and these filings may not only name Diddy, but could also include the Carters and other prominent figures who allegedly attended the now infamous gatherings. If concrete evidence surfaces, this entire situation could shift from scandal to serious litigation. It could move from headlines to handcuffs, from gossip to courtrooms, with life-altering consequences.
But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay-Z and his nefarious.
More individuals are reportedly preparing to come forward, and with each new account, the tone of the coverage shifts from sensationalism to something far more sobering, a narrative centered on systemic abuse, manipulation, and long overdue accountability. Yet even now, Jay-Z and Beyoncé remain silent. Not a statement, not a denial. Their strategy appears to be deliberate inaction, calculated, silent, and razor-focused. And here's where the situation takes an even darker, more dangerous turn. There are growing whispers that some of the allegedly explosive footage has already begun leaking onto the dark web. Private forums and underground networks are reportedly buzzing, sharing screenshots and short clips that, if verified, could confirm the most damning allegations and permanently shift the narrative. If these leaks are real, the damage is irreversible. This wouldn't just be a PR disaster, it would be a digital time bomb. These tapes could live on indefinitely, beyond the control of attorneys, publicists, or legal firewalls. For the Carters, this is no longer just about potential legal fallout. The fight now centers on legacy, protecting the image they've built over decades, an empire of influence slowly slipping from their grip with each passing headline. And just when it seems things can't get any more disturbing, the focus is beginning to shift. Attention is turning toward the alleged victims. The stories emerging are disturbing, accounts that point to deception, manipulation, and systemic abuse. One individual, through her legal team, has already submitted a detailed filing. In it, she claims she was lured to one of these exclusive events under the promise of a legitimate career opportunity. She believes she was auditioning for a role in a music video, an invitation extended by a well-known industry figure reportedly linked to both Diddy and Jay-Z. But according to her sworn statement, what she walked into wasn't an audition, it was a nightmare. According to one alleged victim's legal filing, the most disturbing details are only just beginning to surface.
So civil complaint, simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality, and we'll see what happens after the DA looks and investigates.
Her account places the scene at a lavish mansion in Miami, complete with underground rooms that, she says, were off limits to most of the invited guests. The setting alone raised alarms, but what allegedly happened inside was far more troubling. Upon arrival, she says she was handed a drink, one she now believes was tampered with. Shortly after consuming it, her memory began to slip. She describes disorientation and confusion, eventually being led into one of the off-limits rooms by individuals she claims to have recognized from the entertainment industry. As her condition worsened, faces blurred. But the trauma that followed, she says, was very real. What happened next forms the core of her legal complaint. And while we cannot detail her exact words here, the implications have already sent shockwaves through entertainment circles and beyond. Here's where it escalates further. She's not alone. In the weeks following the federal raid on Diddy's properties, more than a dozen additional allegations have surfaced. Each one echoes similar details, matching locations, matching party environments, and disturbingly matching high-profile names. These individuals say they were flown in from cities across the country under the pretense of opportunity, career breaks, auditions, introductions. But upon arrival, what they reportedly encountered was something entirely different. Legal filings show that some victims have supplied compelling evidence: photos, screenshots, text conversations, and even medical documentation that appears to corroborate their experiences. And while no formal criminal charges have been filed against the Carters, their names continue to surface in these accounts, raising serious unanswered questions about their possible presence and proximity to these events. Meanwhile, attorneys representing several victims are painting a picture of deep-rooted protection and privilege.
15 years.
Oh, Mr. Diddy, aka Mr. Love, now. Dr.
No,
Love.
Sean Carter.
Oh.
That's the question now echoing across headlines and timelines. Are Jay-Z and Beyoncé waiting for legal teams to craft the perfect response? Or are they hoping that silence paired with strategic inaction will allow the storm to pass? Either way, their silence is speaking volumes to a public increasingly demanding transparency. Behind the scenes, however, reports suggest it's anything but quiet. According to multiple sources, the Carters are in full crisis mode, holding emergency meetings with both legal advisors and top-tier PR strategists. Every possible route is being explored in an effort to contain the rapidly expanding fallout. One insider claims they've even discussed legal action against Diddy himself, accusing him of orchestrating a targeted smear campaign to drag their names through the mud. But that path comes with a dangerous risk. If Diddy is truly sitting on the kind of evidence insiders keep alluding to, filing a lawsuit could backfire. A courtroom confrontation could potentially force the release of that footage into public record, a risk the Carters likely cannot afford to take. And they're not the only ones at risk. Reports suggest that the tapes don't just feature the Carters and Diddy, but a sprawling list of recognizable names from music, film, and sports. The kind of list that could shake the foundation of Hollywood and the entertainment world at large. While no official names have been confirmed on record, the whispers behind closed doors are growing louder. Former allies and collaborators are taking action. Many are now quietly distancing themselves from Diddy, scrubbing old posts, deleting interviews, and removing photos that show past connections. Even LeBron James, typically outspoken and unapologetically vocal, has remained completely silent. He's reportedly been named in some of the legal filings as a possible witness to events at the infamous parties, yet has said nothing publicly, a decision that stands out against his usual social engagement. It feels like the entire entertainment industry is holding its breath, waiting, watching, and wondering who will be named next. But this isn't just about a few tarnished reputations or broken alliances. If the allegations are true, and if the footage really is as damning as insiders claim, then this scandal goes far beyond individuals. It points to a culture built on secrecy, silence, and exploitation, hidden beneath the polished surface of celebrity and success. The entertainment world has faced criticism for decades over its lack of accountability. But this moment could mark the turning point. With federal investigators reportedly preparing charges against multiple individuals, the era of burying scandals may finally be coming to a close. So where does it go from here? Will the Carters continue their silence, letting their legal team control the narrative, or will they eventually face the public with answers? Will Diddy's alleged stockpile of footage be the wrecking ball that brings down household names, or will it be framed as the desperate move of a man boxed into a corner? And most importantly, what about the victims? Will their stories finally cut through the noise and be heard? Or will their voices be drowned out by the machinery of celebrity spin, legal maneuvering, and public distraction? The fallout from this case could reshape how the public views fame, influence, and the unchecked power that exists behind closed doors. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown informative, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update as this story continues to develop. Because this is just the beginning, and the next reveal could change everything. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.